Hey, people. Yeah, no, my lighting sucks. I've got to get my lamp out of my man cave, trying to get electricity out there. So I need to see to be able to do it. Anyway, let me see if I can do this. Maybe turn my, I have my news on. So anyway, hey guys, welcome to the page. I have started a new page, and that's a little bit better. Oh man, I started a new page, and after further review, I was talking to some individuals the other day, and I don't really have a lot of good luck or a lot of followers, a lot of comments on my page. I guess I kind of let that get to me, but here's what I'm going to do is like a lot of people say, well, you know what? A lot of people look at what you say or they repeat what you say. So I guess the message is getting out, and that's the most important thing. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try to liven it up a little bit. But anyway, this is Angelina County, Texas today, as of what we got going on today. Um, and this page will be devoted to Angelina County. I will post tidbits of information, not gossip, but things that are actually going on as far as we know, based on my research, Freedom of Information request, what the government has said, what they haven't said, what government actions are, what they have done here in Angelina County to see if it all makes sense to you guys. And maybe I'll cover something that you may have a question about. I have in my travels, I run across a lot of people in Angelina County who have complaints. They have issues. They want to know how to do things in Angelina County. But when you go to the people who are supposed to know and help you out with this or give you instructions, they don't want to. They don't want to help you. They just like, okay, whatever. The only people that will help you are the attorneys, and they'll charge you $20,000 just for the file a motion. So we'll address that situation as we go along. I'll always try to keep this about 30 minutes. However, the fact is, if I go longer, I get long winded sometimes. Feel free just to shut the hell, just shut it up and say, shut up. I don't mind. I'm not having beer. I don't have a thin skin. Keep the language to where, whatever Facebook allows you to say it. I ain't going to be in here. I ain't gonna be in here bumping people out or whatever. And if you say something stupid, then I'm gonna call you out and say you're stupid. It's just basically the way it is. Just gonna have a conversation um, using cowboy logic and East Texas logic, way we see things. And hopefully we'll get other individuals because I'm a member of a bunch of groups that are freedom of information request advocates. They are cop watchers. They are government watchers, the court watchers. I get information from all over the state. It may not pertain to Angelina County, but the issue may not, but the way they're handling it will, or you'll see what's going on in other counties, how they do these things. And you will be able to notice that this is not just abnormality here in Angelina County, nor abnormally. This is basically going on across the state of Texas, and well, one of my major things is that I listen to a lot of people. They complain or whatever, and let's start at the basics. It's like, okay, if you got this many problems with the government, or you want to see things change or whatever, go vote. Okay. And then I run across people say, well, it don't do no good to vote. Well, how do you know? That's the only thing that you have in the Constitution to actually, at one time, put your hand up and say, this is the way I feel, and not be degraded about how you voted, who you voted for, or whatever, which seems to be a big deal here in Angelina County. So, without further ado, here we go. First topic today is David Stewart had actually submitted for a hearing and a trial to remove Janet Castles as the district attorney's office from the district attorney's office. She is the acting DA, and it was dismissed yesterday. I didn't, in my own personal opinion, I didn't think that this was going to go anywhere. Not to say that I don't agree, or I do agree that she should be sanctioned, or she should be removed, or her practices should be looked into. Those things I agree with. However, the way that this actual case was presented it was vengeance. It was trying to get back at the person or Jenna Castles for committing wrongs that were done um, in the past in a court where the court had already made a decision. It wasn't an appeal on that decision. It was trying to get her removed, and the 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 judge, in my opinion, would say, you know what, with all this crap happened 4 years ago, why didn't you appeal it then? Why are we still hearing about it today? And it's basically, it was worded and it was set up just to antagonize, to actually make Janet Ocasio aware that people are watching, but also it was pretty vindictive to go after her on something that had happened and the judge had already ruled on. It wasn't really her doing. She didn't make the decisions. The judge made those decisions to find this individual guilty. So it's iffy or whatever. However, the fact is, it is noted that there are people out there that are willing to try to get these issues out in front of people. The thing about this lawsuit or this case was it brought out some issues that we have all discussed in our justice system here in Angelina County, and it brings a lot of information forward of how an individual was treated in the past, and so we can learn from that. So we don't allow them to commit or continue this type of behavior. Sometimes all it takes is just one person to speak up, for them to take a second look. So number two, what I want to go over is Mr. Tyler Lopez. He still has his lawsuit. It's actually in the district court. We went by there yesterday, and he filed some more motions on. He filed motions upon his case. Right now, he's seeking damages up to $2 million, and plus all the fees that he's incurred. You got to keep in mind now, Mr. Lopez is doing this all pro se. He doesn't have an attorney. Getting back to his case a little bit, Mr. Lopez sat in jail for 6 months before he ever got to meet his assigned attorney. He's indigent. He doesn't have the income to actually be able to afford a lawyer. So the court appointed one to him. 6 months down the road, he finally wrote to Mr. Tatum. He called Mr. Tatum. He actually did everything physically possible just to be able to start preparing his defense. So the attorney, and this is not just Mr. Tatum, this is basically every attorney that a court assigned. They just let you stew in jail for 6 months and kind of throw you in the corner. And what they're doing is the whole time is that they're actually just wanting you to plea bargain, so you don't have to go to court. Don't incur any cost. And this has been noted because the first thing that a assigned county attorney or assigned attorney to indigent clients in Angelina County Jail, the first thing they do is, okay, we got 6 months. Let's go plea deal. Let's make a plea deal. This guy's never heard the case. He's never actually heard what's going on. He's actually heard about through the newspaper, and it's really a shame because the fact is you can't get proper representation. Now, I am for the law. I am a law enforcement personnel. I believe in the law, and all law enforcement officers are actually performing their duties to the best of their abilities, but also constitutionally, and also with a sense of no malice, and do not use their power just to get back at somebody personally. I wanted to say this, interject here this real quick, is that here in Angelina County, what we see here is we see a continued pattern of people getting back at for petty differences. So in other words, I know that has to play with in every county, but it's prevalent here because the fact is that, well, you cussed out my dog, so I'm going to take you to court, or I'm going to call 911 and complain about you, but I'm going to do it anonymously because I don't want nobody to get my name out or whatever, but I'm going to do it anonymously. And it's petty. It really keeps the system that we have, our government system that's actually set down by the United States government and also by the Texas state government, it gets in the way. Petty differences, petty bullshit. Okay, you don't need to handle that shit between the law. I remember back in the old days, you know what? Well, back in redneck days, you know, when you have a problem, you go out in the parking lot and settle it. You know, okay, then it's over with. Okay, well, thank you for schooling me, huh? Take my ass whooping and go home. But that has prevailed to we're lacking of common sense. Somebody pisses somebody off and they want to take retribution, and they utilize the court system to do so. And it boggles up the system with petty charges or whatever. Now, I don't believe in any frivolous lawsuit because the fact is that if a lawsuit is filed, that means somewhere down the road a person was not heard. Their opinion was not heard. They were placed on the back burner by our county officials. It's not a big deal, whatever. So in those situations when you can get nobody else to listen, or it's been going on for a while and nobody will listen or whatever, then you have to have to take further action. We see this because in this case I mentioned earlier with the Janet Castle situation, we see this as involved because the fact is that that's how we just want to get back at people, and that's not my goal. My goal is to make sure that we actually notify the problems in the system and fix it. But first, we've got to get the attention of the evildoers. President Bush would say in his arena, the evildoers. So, for freedom of information request, if the county has an issue with how many information requests are being sent, I challenge them to look at freedom of information that will actually state that these FOI requests have gone up at least 65% in the state of Texas all over. And there's one reoccurring reason why. Is because the fact is that the governments are not being transparent with the community. Governments are hiding information, slipping things under the table, or don't want to cause a stink, don't want people looking in this area. So people are taking it upon themselves and saying, I want to know, how did you come up with this? How did you come up with this? What? Because in commissioners meetings here, they're at 10 o'clock in the morning. Nobody can go because you're working. Number two is that they have a video, but they have a video on there, but not too many people actually look at the video because the fact is sometimes it's just freaking boring. And sometimes I just get tired of hearing these guys speak or whatever. So it's like, but if you do look with these videos, you'll notice a pattern of people sitting down and shutting up. You'll also notice some intimidation factors. A person is actually there and they're very animate, or they're not accepting the answers, or well, then here it comes into play. Then you'll see the sheriff get up and he'll stand up. 2 or 3 deputies will walk in. That's to intimidate you or whatever. And they're just looking for a reason to take you to jail. That's it. They're just looking for a reason to take you to jail so they can say, well, see, we handle that. But the thing about it is that, you know what, it's person's right. For 3 minutes, they can get up there and say whatever the hell they want to say. It's freedom of speech. And I'm sorry if you don't like it. People who don't like freedom of speech is because the fact is that people are telling the truth. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you the truth. And there's a lot of people that I know here. You ask me, I'm going to tell you the truth because the fact is that's the way I believe. And guess what? Then you know where I'm coming from. So with the Tyler Lopez case, that's continuing to go on. It's a civil case. So like I said, but we did get to talk to yesterday. We did talk to the clerk and we made copies there. They were more than happy to make copies for us. And they explained, they sat down and they explained where his case was. They gave a printout of everything. It was really handled professionally. Now, if you compare it to our county court, the district clerk's office, they had an attitude. I don't know what it is about county employees, but they think the shit don't stink and they can just treat you any old way when you go in there. And if you come in, let's give you an example. Let's go in and say you're coming in from work and you got to file some paperwork. And you come in from your work with your work boots on and you walk in with your flannel shirt on, maybe a baseball hat on or a cowboy hat or whatever. You walk in there you're automatically treated like a piece of crap. This guy's just a dumbass, whatever. And that is very, very important here in Angelina County because um, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you talk, the color you are, that determines how well you're treated when you go and deal with these county offices. Some of them have attitudes. Um, One case particular, when we were going to go file, um, um, the individual stated, "Well, I'm just running by the judge." Let's see how that's wrong. County officials, you're there to record documents. Okay, you're not an attorney. I don't need your opinion. I've done my research. Here are the documents I need to have signed. Okay, this is what I need you to do. I need you to do your job, stamp it that you received it on this day, and then you report it. You put it on your computer, and then you send it up to the judge. It is not your decision to whether you're going to send something to the judge or not. It's not your opinion. It's your opinion. The judge has the opportunity of seeing these documents and saying, okay, well, no, you got to expand. That's between me and the judge. You ain't got, you don't even, all you need to do is just stamp it. That's your job. Just stamp on the computer, stamp, right on the computer, answer the phone. That's your job. So don't try to make your job somehow more important, saying that the question was, well, are you an attorney? Well, no, I'm filing. Well, I advise against that. You should get an attorney. If I need an attorney, thank you for your input, but I didn't order assholes with my documents. I didn't mean, I don't need to hear all this from you. First of all, I don't know who the hell you are. Second of all, I don't know what bird shit on your post toasted today. But I'll tell you this right now. It's that, I don't need your opinion. Everybody's got an opinion. Well, some people don't want to hear it. So keep your opinions to yourself, unless you're asked. It's common manners. Anyway, so the Lopez case is actually still going on when we're still working on getting documents or whatever to get it to a position where it can be heard before the judge. And the judge is very cordial. Always says hi, nice. It's just a total different atmosphere when you walk in there because you can tell that they're there to do their job professionally, and they come in there and they greet every person with, "How can I help you?" Yeah, okay, let me understand what we're doing. Okay, all right. And they move you along the system. And they explain the system as you're going or whatever. And the county courthouse, it's like, you know what, how dare you interrupt my time? How dare you ask me to do something? Or how dare you? And I'm like, damn, who the hell are they? And I'll give you another point, whatever, is when you go into the county clerk's office to go in and record things, there is a copier, and it's right there. We pay for that. We pay for that copier and the paper that goes in there. So, say for example, you're going to file this motion and you want to make copies, but they don't allow you to use their computer. They don't allow you to go and use the copy machine. No, you can't use the copy machine. Okay, well, you want copies, but okay. Well, you should have done that before you got here. Thank you, Einstein. Appreciate that for that information. And the district clerk is different. I need to file these. She's okay. I'm here. Let me see what you got. Okay, I need copies of this. Here's your copy. Boom. They actually get up out of their chair and go and put it in the copy machine, get it all out there, and then come back and tell you, okay, this is what you're going to file. This is how we're going to do it. And then here's your copy for your records. Amazing how that shit works, huh? Amazing. So the best way I can tell you is if you go to another county and you walk in, you can pretty much tell which is the office that's there to help you, or if it's an office there to hinder you, to make it as difficult as you can to make them get up and do their damn job. That pisses me off. It's kind of like a secretary just sitting there when you got a secretary and you're sitting there and the phone's freaking ringing. It's like, answer the phone, do your job, and please answer the phone. I don't need all this. I don't need a huddle. I don't need a hen party of women talking about what they should do. They should know. But anyway, I'm off to a tangent. But anyway, so please notice that when you go in the county's attorney's office, because the fact is that they just, they think their shit don't stink and you ain't nobody. And guess what? You are, because the fact is that whether they realize it or not, you pay for their salary. Okay, don't mean you go in there and be an asshole, but whenever they want to get pissy, it's like, okay, hold on a second here. Let's realize who you're talking to, because the fact is, first of all, you're disrespecting the hell out of me. Second of all, you're treating me like I'm a 3-year-old, and third, okay, you're pissing me off. I just came in here to file a document. I don't need a sermon. I want a sermon. I go to church on Sunday. So that case is going on, and we have another issue that I'm actually really concerned about. It's that we have an individual who's in jail in the Angelina County Jail, has been in solitary confinement. I believe it's 806 days, maybe more, but I know for at least 806 days he has been in solitary confinement. Now, the story behind this is that his name is Preston Lee Hayes. The story behind this is that he went to court, had a court hearing. The judge ruled him incompetent to stand trial. In other words, he was too mentally ill to stand trial. He had no idea what was going on. Let's break it down like I said. He had no idea what was happening to him. He had no idea what was going on. He had no idea why he was there. The guy has a mindset of a 10-year-old, okay? So judge sends him back to jail. They put him in solitary confinement. Check this out. They put him in solitary confinement because the fact is he couldn't protect himself in general population. Okay, first of all, I got an issue with that. Why do you need to protect yourself in jail? County jailers, I don't know who this is. I'll answer in a minute. County jailers are responsibility for your safety, your custody, and your safety and your well-being while you're there. So why does he have to be put in solitary confinement for 806 days? Because he can't protect himself. So in other words, you just threw the guy in the back corner and said, you know what, you're mentally ill, so we're just going to put you back here, and we're not even going to address people. People just forget about you. I don't know if this individual has family. I don't know if he has loved ones. I don't know if he has organizations that would help him in the process of getting mental help. I called the Burke Center and I said, what do we need to do to get this guy some help? First of all, I want to do a health and welfare check on this individual. Second of all, I want him to be evaluated for his mental capacity. And third, I want to get him some medication and get him some help so he can stand trial. The charges he has are third-degree felonies. Now, these charges, if you read those charges, what they are is they were mentally, it was due to his fact being mentally ill. So he's in jail because he's in jail in solitary confinement because he's mentally ill. I asked Sheriff Selman, and he wrote me back, and he said, well, he's committed heinous crimes. I'm sorry, but a heinous crime is not a third-degree felony. A third-degree felony is not a heinous crime. And then you look at Angelina County's general perspective. It's this, is that, well, he done something wrong. Sometime in his life, he's done something wrong, so he should be in jail. He did something wrong. I know he did something wrong. We forget the fact is that you're innocent until proven guilty. Second of all, it don't matter what you believe, it's what you can prove in court. And if you can't get a court date, you can't prove it. This man, you got to let him go. The bail on it's $7,500. So what could you do? Well, you could get Burke Center, who says, well, we just can't go in there. Yeah, you can. If there's a mental health emergency anywhere, or a person needs to be evaluated, then yes, you do have the opportunity. If a report comes in and says that there's a person mentally ill and he's been confined for 860 days in solitary confinement, that should be a concern for mental health professionals, not only because the fact is he's already been deemed incompetent and he can't stand trial. I don't know what word I'm trying to look for there, but anyway, it said he can't be tried because of his mental illness. You throw him in jail. Now the Burke Center says, well, there's nothing we can do about it. He's mentally ill, but we're not going to help him. And no one can explain to him why he wants to go home every day. Now, has he acted out? Yes. Because the fact is that they put a TV in his solitary confinement room. Okay. Well, he says even when the TV was off. And I know this because the fact is that we're individuals who were actually in solitary confinement with him and we're asking him questions or whatever. And one of the guys said, "Hey, look, is he playing the TV too loud? I can hear it all the way down here." Whatever. I said, "No," he says, "Not him. It's the guy next door." He said, "But we can't give him a TV." And he goes, "Well, why can't he have a TV? Because he destroys them." So he's like, "Well, why is he just destroying his TV? I don't get that," or whatever. He said, "Because it's because he's hearing voices from when he turns it off." Okay, there we go, right there. He's hearing voices when his TV's off. Now we don't know about the mental damage that it's already been done to him for being in solitary confinement for 805 days. I don't know psychologically what impact that will have, but it has been studied and said that, you know what, you can't leave after 30 days. You need to let the guy out for at least 24 hours or whatever to acclimatize. Then you can put him back in. And solitary confinement is only for individuals who cause dangerous to themselves or others. And has behaved like this. So in other words, he never threatened anybody. He never has done anything to everybody. He hadn't even seen anybody. All he's heard or seen for the last 806 days is guards talking to him, telling him, and they have to speak to him like he is a child. So I question the Burke Center. I question any any jailer who's in there who's not reporting this. Any supervisor who's just letting this continue, I have questions. Why hasn't he been looked at? And if the judge has deemed him incompatible, why haven't you found him a place where he can get proper medication and we can get on and maybe make something out of this guy's life? But throw him in the hole for 806 days is just bullshit. That ain't solving nobody's problem except one. It's the jail because they get paid. Sheriff Samuel said, "Oh, we don't get paid." Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. The county gets paid per inmate. Okay, per inmate. This is why our jails are always full, because they want to max out the income that they receive from the state. Now, whether the sheriff's department sees it or not, that's another question. But the fact is that they do get paid. They do get reimbursed. Why do you think that they're actually adding on to we want to add on to the jail another 500 beds? While we have 636 felony cases that are waiting more than 2 years to actually go to trial or actually go through the hearing process to get to trial. And they want to add 500 more beds. Here's how they sold it. They said this. They said, well, we're going to get inmates from other counties to get them to move in. That'll help with the cost and the upkeep of the new jail, or not new jail, but the extension of the jail. Well, why would that be? Well, because the fact is, if you actually house a resident of Angelina County in county jail, you only get paid $35 to $40 per day per inmate. And then if you get a out of county inmate and then you house them, then you get paid $75. I'm lying, I'm dying. So you get $75 from these people that are coming in from county jail. Meanwhile, you can't even process the only inmates you have. It sounds like it to me, right? Okay, so that's that one. But here is the kicker, the piece of resistance. If you have not watched the county commissioner's office a meeting on Tuesday, I beg you to watch Jill Brewer and her famous hits. You cannot script this. You cannot script this. You can't make it up. She gets up there and provides a report that doesn't balance. The commissioners have issues. They're like, here's the kicker. Okay, so we started with $16 million. Now we're down to $12 million. I'll just give you her answers. Now we have $12 million. Here's what she said. Well, we spent a lot of money. That's a professional talking. We spend a lot of money. Number two, okay, they asked, she said, well, I just plug in the numbers to the computer and that's what comes out. So one of the commissioners said, well, why can't we get a program to where it all balances out so this all makes sense? Why can't we get that kind of program? Well, I don't know. So currently we have no program that's actually showing us exactly how much money we have in the bank. So we don't know. That's a good question. This is our treasurer answering these questions. Okay. Now, if you think I'm done, please look at the Angelina County website, go to Commissioner's Court, and you can work your way through to get the contents of this meeting, because it actually I fell on the floor. I knew that Angelina County was bad, but I did not know that a person was working in this office or in this capacity. She said, well, that's the report. She said that's the best she could do with that report, but giving the time that she has. And then she even made line, well, the state requires me to do so. Well, yeah. Why are you pissed off about that? Money that the county distributes or pay. Then we have a regulatory commission for each one of those. And yes, it goes through the state. And yes, you have to provide a copy of a report for them. Keith Rice said it best, the county judge. He said, this means nothing to me. He said, I can't take a calculator and work these figures. I can't, that doesn't jive with the amount of income coming in, this doesn't jive. Basically what he's at, where did $4 million go? And you don't have any explanation. I don't know about you guys, but that right there, first of all, that was just phenomenal for me to say. Second of all, her attitude toward the Commissioner's Court was because it's a petty indifference that she's actually taking out on the Commissioner's Court, because they met with her after the last meeting and told her, you need to speak up so we can understand what you're saying. We need to address these issues, and this is what we need to know. These are the things that we're required for you to report to us as an oversight. We need to be able to keep track of these things, and so we can make decisions on how much money we're spending and how much money we're making in the whole 9 yards. It appears that she's very, very upset about the fact is that she was actually told what they needed to see in her reports, and that she was just doing the petty kind of thing, and just, well, I don't know. I don't know. But I've been working on this since I've been treasurer, and I guess I'll still be working on it in the future. I don't know, but I don't think she'd be treasurer no more. If you can't tell me how much money I got in the bank, and you can't tell me how much money I spent, and how much I got today, and how much is going out, then how the hell am I supposed to prepare? Well, how am I supposed to even keep up with a budget if you can't? You got one job. Keep up with the county's money. That's it. And provide a list and a report that shows everybody involved, not only just the commissioner's office, but everybody, including me and you, where you're spending the money. We got $16 million that we're borrowing from the bank. We don't even know the terms on this. We don't know if it's a balloon. We don't know if it's 32 and 5, 32 and 7. We don't know what the interest rate is. We have no way of calculating that. We have no way of knowing, because no one has told us what the actual figure on the loan is going to be. And we're actually going to go ahead and take out a loan on money. We don't even know if we have the money to pay for it. Do you see where that could create a problem? That was the most classic thing that I have seen in government. And I watch a lot of stuff on government or whatever. And I was floored. I call it Jill Brewer's greatest hits. And she walks with an attitude like she knows everything, and she doesn't like anybody to tell her anything about the budget, or how much money we got or whatever. Don't dare question her, basically, is what her attitude was. Don't you dare question me, because I don't know. I can just go quiet and I don't know. This is what I'm talking about, petty differences and petty things. She got butthurt because somebody told her what she needed to correct in her reports to provide a better picture to not only the commissioners, but also to us taxpayers. And she had a hissy fit. And she showed her ass. She showed her ass. That's it. She showed her ass. So, anyway, welcome to the new page. Please like, subscribe. If you don't want to comment, don't comment. If you don't want to watch, don't watch. Anyway, I'm just going to bring it to you. Not just what I hear, but what I research, what people are actually talking about, so we can actually get somebody else that are actually in our county offices to actually pay attention what our major concerns are. We're still dealing with the road situation. We have no answers on that. However, there's $3 million that we can't account. I'm sorry, $300,000 we can't account for that was last seen in Terry Pitt's office. We still can't account for that. We still got issues of people saying, well, that they're calling it an easement. It's my property. It's been there or whatever. And they're putting gates up on things. So, yeah, there's personal battles that are going on with Angelina County that we're not all privy to. And the thing about it is that one at a time, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But when you add up all these issues that are actually going on, you're going to see we still have the recurring problem of lack of transparency to the public. We need to understand. I'm sorry, I'm a layman, Ms. Brewer. I need to understand where our money's at. I pay taxes. Okay. I'd like to know where my taxes went. I'd like to know. And basically, on a monthly basis, I'd like to know where the county sits as far as incoming, outgoing, debts we've incurred, investments that we've actually profited on. We want to know that because it gives a good standing of the county to where we can actually just make, okay, well, you know what? We took a bad month last month. Okay, keeps us involved. But no, they choose to shut us out because they know better and that they know what's best for us. And that's not the way it works. The way it works is we need to get up off our ass. We need to go vote. We need to question these people and say, why? How come? Show me. Because if anybody who keeps following this page will find out that the Texas Constitution, the United States Constitution are not followed by the state by Angelina County. They twist the rules. And here's the reason why. Because they've been doing it that way for so long, they continue to do the same thing. It's like that Alcoholics Anonymous saying, what was it? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Yeah, we keep doing the same thing over and over again. We're not getting it. We're not changing anything, and we still getting piss poor results. So I don't know. Best thing I can do is just speak out on it, bring it by you guys, see what you think. And if you want to hold petty differences or whatever, hell, I'll talk to anybody. And you can show me wrong. I'm wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong. But the fact of the matter is these issues have to be addressed because the fact is that Angelina County is building a wall around our government to where we can't penetrate to get information out of. That's a dangerous sign. I'm sure a lot of you can think of a lot of words that we've actually called it in the past, but that's where we're at. Sorry, went over time today. I always do. But anyway, you guys be good, be careful. Welcome to the page and participate. If you ain't got to participate, at least like it, share it, or make a comment on it. If not, if it don't fly, if it don't apply, let it fly. But I'm going to keep you guys advised of what's going on. And if you have any ideas or any current situations that you're going through and I can help you maybe steer you in the right place, then let me know. I will do so. I think it's like my third channel I've tried or whatever, but I always swear when I start one, it's going to be different. But anyway, I'm going to still keep posting whatever because it helps me. It helps me actually when I don't talk to myself all the time. All right, guys, be good, be careful, keep your powder dry. Welcome to the channel. You guys be good.